Hello, I'm Greg Hannon, and welcome to Contemporary Keyboard Harmony 1. And what I mean by contemporary keyboard harmony is that all the art forms that are associated with music, such as jazz, such as pop music, such as gospel, such as praise and worship and contemporary Christian music, all of those are the contemporary music forms. And what I mean by contemporary music, all of those art forms that are associated with music that's non-classical and the music that we listen to on the radio, the music that you hear in your CD players, even country music will really be in the contemporary music art forms. But this course is designed to introduce you to the harmony of contemporary music. And we're going to start out with what I consider the most important fundamental of contemporary music is the major scale. From the major scale, we can break this system down and really teach it to you so you can understand the theory, the numbers behind everything, the formulas for all the chords and everything that we create. So let's just take a look at the major scale, and we're going to begin with the key of C, and we're going to look at the C major scale. And just let me call the notes out to that scale for you. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And if you notice, there are 8 notes in that scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are actually 8 notes. And if you notice that the first note and the last note actually repeats itself. So those 2 notes are exactly the same, and they're 8 notes apart. And we call that distance between this C and this C an octave. So anytime you have 2 notes that are 8 notes apart, we call that an octave. So get familiar with that term if you're not already familiar with it. But if you also notice, there are only 7 different notes in the C scale. And we got C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. But after we get to B, it starts over again, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And then it goes again, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So there are only 7 different notes in the scale. So let's number these 7 notes. Let's give them a numerical value, and we call those the scale tone numbers. So in every key that we play or we learn a song in, we want to learn the major scale, but we want to learn all the scale tone numbers that go with that key also. So in the key of C, the first note of the scale is called C. C is called the 1. So we call it the 1 because it's actually the first note of the scale. D would be the second because it's the second note of the scale. E would be the third. F would be the fourth. G would be the 5th, A would be the 6th, B would be the 7th, and then when we get to the next note, the next C, it starts over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are only 7 different notes in every major scale, and we need to know what they are in every key. So for instance, if I was to give you a quiz, and we do have quizzes and assignments that are in your video window. If you look in your classroom virtual window, there are going to be assignments that you actually have to write and complete. But we're looking at for instance, if I ask you, what is the 5 in the key of C? Well, we look up to the 5th note. The 5th note of the key of C is G. So we can say that the 5 in the key of C is a G. Okay, so if I say, what is the 6th in the key of C? So we count up to the 6th note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 6th scale tone is an A. So what's the 3rd in the key of C? 1, 2, 3. The 3rd scale tone is an E. So we want to make sure that you memorize all of the scale tone numbers in the key of C because that's going to be part of your quiz later on. And we need to make sure that you really get that information in your head because that's going to help us later on with transposition and understanding how to get in and out of all the different keys because the scale tone numbers in any key with any major scale are all going to be the same. So we want to make sure that you totally understand the scale tone numbers and know exactly what they are. So there's another term I want to introduce you to called tonic. And the tonic is another name for the 1. Whatever key I'm in, if I'm in the key of E flat and I'm basing it on an E flat scale, my tonic will be E flat, which is just the 1, the first note of the scale. So you'll hear me refer to it as the tonic a whole lot too. And we're just talking about the key that we're in and the first note of the major scale. In other words, the tonic is nothing more than the 1. So if I say, what's the 1 in the key of C? It's going to be C. C is also going to be the tonic in the key of C. So we want to make sure that we understand that the 1 and the tonic and the first scale tone are all the exact same note. So we just want to make sure that we understand that C is the tonic, and everything that we're looking at is revolving around that C. So we need to learn how to play the major scale so we can develop technique and finger independence. So we're going to look at the C major scale, and we're going to start off with actually the left hand. So let's move to the left hand, and we want to learn the correct fingering for the C major scale. And if you don't understand the finger numbers or which numbers, the numbers for the fingering, you need to refer back to Introduction to Keyboard 101, and we cover all the fingering numbers in that system because it's really a course for absolute beginners. But let me show you what I mean. In the left hand, the thumb is number 1, okay, and the next finger is 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is finger 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we number it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if I say play the third finger in the left hand, this is the finger that you want to play. This one right here. If I say play the fifth finger in the left hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the fifth finger in the left hand. So just another brief overview. In the right hand, the same exact thing. Thumbs are always number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And there's an illustration for you on the screen right there to show you exactly the numbers to the fingers. So it's going to be very important that as we play major scales, there are fingers that are absolutely dedicated to playing certain notes. We don't make up fingering. We don't create things because understanding proper fingering and technique will allow us to play our music cleaner and smoother. A lot of times when we play music and we don't use correct fingering, we blow it a lot. Sometimes we'll get it and the next time we'll mess it up and don't understand why. Because your fingers have to be set up a certain way in order to execute certain music and certain phrases.